Look, I know I just did a video talking about Mario Kart like not that long ago, but that was only a 5 minute long video and I also talked about Mario Party, so I think I'm in the clear to do another video on Mario Kart. Plus, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, the top 10 best Mario Kart tracks. Now, I don't really have much to say for an intro. You know why you're here, so let's move on to the video. Starting with Airship Fortress, which is a really good track to start off with. Almost makes you wonder what the next 9 are. Airship Fortress is a great Mario Kart track. I mean, let's be honest, we all love those levels in Super Mario Bros. 3 with the airships, and this track is based off of those levels, so that's pretty amazing. Basically, you start off driving through this stone road thingy with bullet bills being shot at you. Then once you pass those, you go onto the actual airship where you have to avoid Monty moles or rocky wrenches. Not Monty moles, but they're basically the same. Then you go through the inside of the airship. You have to dodge a few boxes, and then you dodge some burners, or that's what they're called in Mario Maker, but the fire things. And then you get launched through a cannon. You drive through this descending pillar. I think that's a good way to put it. And then you go back around and it loops around again. It's a great track and I have fun playing it every single time. So yeah, let's move on. The reason I love Grumble Volcano so much is because the track falls apart every time you do a lap, or more and more, not completely. I've always loved the idea of tracks or levels in like main series Mario games, not just Mario Kart, where the place you're in just keeps falling apart. It's so intense and it makes you just feel so, what's the word? I don't know the word. It just makes you feel so epic, I guess. Sure, I'll go with that. But it's a great track. So first off, you start out in this lava area. You drive over a few moving pillars in lava. Then you go inside the actual volcano and you drive around in there. There's nothing really to mention in there. Then you go outside again and you have to avoid jumping fire things. I don't know the name of those enemies. And all the while the track is basically falling apart every time you do a lap. It's insane, and it's really intense, and it's just a really fun track to play. I hope the next Mario Kart has a track like this, except maybe even more intense, like the track falls apart even more. That'd be epic. I'd absolutely love that. Can we just talk about how many Wario tracks are in Mario Kart 8 first? I mean, you got Mount Wario, which we're talking about right now. You got Wario Stadium, and if you bought the DLC or own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there's Wario's Gold Mine. I'm not complaining, they're all good tracks, but that's a lot of Wario for one game. Give something to Waluigi. Okay, enough about that. Mount Wario is a very good track. I always love the tracks where instead of being a loop, the laps are like sections instead. I think there's an actual proper term for those tracks or a name for them, but I don't know what it is. So basically, in Mount Wario, it's like a giant ski hill, but you drive down it. You start off at like the top of the mountain, and it's just kind of like a normal snowy drive, a normal snow track. There's a bit of ice. But then once you get to lap 2, you go through a forest, and you can trick off of all these logs that are there, and it's so cool, and yeah, I find that cool. And then you keep driving, and then the third lap, or at least I think it's the third lap, you're basically gliding down the last little bit. You go through these speed boost thingies that are in the air, and then you finally drive down the last little bit to the finish line. It's such an awesome track, and I love playing it. So anyways, let's move on. This track was just a great idea, I almost want to say. It's one of those tracks that make you think Mario Kart 7 is underrated. Woohoo Loop is so much fun to drive through. Even if you take away the fact that it's a reference to Wii Sports Resort, which is amazing. I mean, I've never played the game, but it's a great reference. So basically, you start off in the plaza area, I want to say. I don't know the names of these areas, like I said, I haven't played the game. Then you drive through the road, over a bridge, then through a tunnel, then you drive beside a mountain, sort of, and you can go to the right into this other place that kind of gives you a shortcut, I think, sort of, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's a real shortcut, I just know you can glide. I always go for it just because I always feel like a pro gamer when I do it. Then you continue driving along the side of the mountain area, and then you finally go up onto this hill, and it's so cool because you can see basically like half the island from there. And you can, if you want to, you can go to the right and then glide to the finish line, which is really cool. I do that every time as well, but regardless of whether it's faster or not. And then the track ends, and it's so good. And part of the reason the track is so good is just because of how open and vibrant it is. I just love, like, driving on this track just because of how happy it feels. Like, there's so many wonderful colors. And that's a weird thing to say, but it's true. It just makes the track that much better. But let's move on, because the next track manages to be even better. Yep, there's another reference to Wii Sports Resort, and it's Maka Woohoo. I don't believe Woohoo Loop covered the entire island, but Maka Woohoo makes up for that. Basically, you start off by driving through kind of like a dirt area. You can trick off some logs, I think. Then you go inside the mountain, which is awesome. That's where the track gets really good. I'm having a hard time remembering the track. It's been a while since I played Mario Kart 7, but basically you go through the mountain. There's a lot of speed boosts. You start to drive up the mountain. I almost said climb, but then I remembered you're driving cars. You can start to drive up the mountain, and then boulders start rolling at you. And then at the end, you do this one trick and start gliding all the way to the finish line. And it feels amazing. It feels so well thought out, and I really hope we can see more tracks like this in the future. I mean, not necessarily about Wii Sports Resort, but about references to other games in general. I mean, I know Mario Kart 8 referenced a few other games like Legend of Zelda or F-Zero, but what I'm trying to say is I hope that keeps happening, because this reference is amazing, and the tracks, both Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo, are great tracks to drive on. So yeah, let's move on. I understand a lot of people don't like Rainbow Road, and sometimes that can even include me. But Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road, regardless of the difficulty, is just a great track to drive on. Whenever I think of a Rainbow Road track, this one is what comes to mind. This track just represents everything Rainbow Road is. Out of all of them, I'd say it could be the most hectic, but don't quote me on that, because pretty much all of them are hectic. But basically, there's like so many speed boosts, which you gotta use smartly or else you could fall off the track. You know, what everyone does during Rainbow Road. falling off the track. There's item boxes in the air. You can trick over a hole in the ground, I guess. Like, it's so crazy, it's even hard to describe. You just have to play it for yourself. And the qualities in this track are really hard to describe why they're great, but if anyone's played this Rainbow Road and enjoys it, because a lot of people don't enjoy Rainbow Road tracks, you know what I'm talking about, and you are most likely to enjoy this track too and agree with where I put it on the list. It just feels so epic, and it's a great finale for Mario Kart Wii. Not including the retro tracks, out of the main tracks. You know what I mean. Anyways, let's move on. No, I'm not trying to coconut mall you. I actually like this track. It's a great track. For reasons, again, I don't really understand. They're hard to describe. But basically, Coconut Mall starts with you in a parking lot. Then you drive into the mall. Then you can take escalators. People who don't like this track probably just took the wrong escalator. You gotta take the right one, the one that goes up. Then you go into this kind of like area where you can go off to the sides and then, or go straight. I don't know how to describe that area. I'm sure you know what it is. Everyone's probably played Coconut Mall at least once in their life. Then you trick into like the main part of the mall where there's a fountain you can trick off of. You can take more escalators. Then you keep going. Then there's a part where the track splits. You can go up or to the right. And then you go into the parking lot again, and then you have to dodge people who are bad at driving. And then you do it again. It's a good track, I promise. If you haven't played Coconut Mall, you should. It's strangely fun to play. And yes, I partly like this track because of the music. I do like Coconut Mall's theme. It just makes the track that much better. But I think part of the reason I do like this track so much is because you can trick off of pretty much everything. You can trick off the escalators, you can trick off the fountain, you can trick off those tree thingies. You can trick off that giant ramp leading into the parking lot. I just like to trick off stuff, and it just makes Coconut Mall feel so crazy, hectic, or whatever. And Coconut Mall just has a great energy that makes me like it. But, yeah, let's move on. Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road, though, manages to defeat the rest of them, including Mario Kart Wii's. Allow me to explain. This is one of those tracks that was like Mako Woohoo, Woohoo Loop, where you like don't do a couple circles, you just do a few like laps or sections. Again, I forgot the name for it. But this track is awesome. You start off by doing just a regular Rainbow Road. It's just Rainbow Road, speed boost that'll probably make you fall off, tight turns, stuff like that. Then you go onto this gliding thing and you start driving on the rings of Saturn, which is awesome. Then you start driving on more Rainbow Road stuff, and then you drive on the frickin' moon. That's right, the moon. And then you go on more Rainbow Road stuff. It gives you, they're like arrows that make you go faster. Then you go through this spinning tunnel, which is cool, and then you do more gliding. And then you finally finish off the track by just driving straight for it on a Rainbow Road. I'm probably leaving out little elements of the track. I haven't played it in a while. Like I said, it's been a while since I played Mario Kart 7. But that's the general idea. And this track just offers something too that the rest of the Rainbow Roads don't. It's one of those tracks that makes you think Mario Kart 7 is underrated. And this is hands down my favorite Rainbow Road. So, I think it's time to move on. Tick-tock clock. This is a great track. And best of all, it's based off of a level from Mario 64. You know, that one everybody hated. Okay. It is based off of that, right? I think it is. I should know this, actually. I should know that. That's pretty... I think that's obvious. Anyways. TikTok clock starts off where you're driving just straight, and then you drive on this giant clock thing where you have to dodge the hands. The hands of the clock, not actual hands. And then you start driving through these gears that are spinning, and then you drive just regular stuff. I can't remember the next part of the track. I haven't played Mario Kart DS in a while either. I should probably know this stuff, but that's the general idea of the track. I know it doesn't sound like anything special, but it's a lot of fun to drive through, and I just enjoy the track. It's just a good track, okay? So I won't keep you in suspense any longer unless you skipped ahead to number 1. It's time to find out what my personal favorite Mario Kart track of all time is. Waluigi Pinball at number 1. I can see a lot of people disagreeing with this, and that's fair. I am a little biased against this track because it's my boy Waluigi, but cut me some slack, it's a good track. I mean, you start off by going through this pinball thing that launches you into the air, then you drive through this kind of like turning area, and then you drive through this just track stuff while you have to dodge actual freaking pinballs. Then you go into the actual like big part of the pinball machine where pinballs are flying everywhere, bouncing off of everything, and you got to make sure you dodge those bouncy things. And then the track just repeats itself. And part of the reason I like this track, once again, is the energy it has behind it. The music's great, and the item boxes has custom sounds that fits with the music. It's great. And I just love the thought they put into that. And I'm just so happy that Waluigi has such a great track, because sometimes it feels like Nintendo disrespects him, whether that's true or not. But yeah, like I said, I could be a little biased against this track, but I just enjoy it, and even so, it would probably be close to number 1 on this list anyways. Yep, Mario Kart has a lot of tracks, and I really enjoyed the top 10 on this list while playing the one. I enjoy playing these ones, and I think this list is pretty agreeable. So, that's about it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.